were getting a couple complaints that the pasta's too al dente.
The bucatini, though.
Yeah.
The bucatini.
We went.
I want to book your teenies. Restaurant Punk, what's up?
Restaurant Punk.
Restaurant Punk.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
How are you doing?
You look like a young Tony Soprano with the sweats.
It's my girlfriend, man.
You look like
you
you're about
love
to
it.
feed us some
a
poetry.
jazz singer over here.
Well, you know what? Maybe I'm going to a blues night.
Like a Dr. Seuss or something.
And I got to read Dr. Seuss tonight to my son.
True.
And to
Yeah.
Noelle.
Well,
Anyway.
anyway,
What do you got?
We just play doctor, not Dr. Seuss.
I bet you do.
Hey.
Check your prostate like this.
All right.
What's
So-
going on? What's on your mind?
As restaurant people, right?
What?
We're restaurant people.
Restaurateurs.
We have bad days at restaurants, right?
Every day.
Right? We have bad days. Or the restaurant has a bad day, correct?
Like
Sure.
sales wise.
It happens. No, just, the restaurant's an off day. Somebody shows up late. Someone's drunk. There's a line out the door. The kitchen's backed up.
Yeah.
The front's backed up. You have bad days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody brought this up at a meeting we had in the past week. And they said, well, you know what? Sometimes customers come in and you have bad customer days. Like the customer comes in
Miserable.
and they're miserable and they're just having a bad day.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing
You
you
could
could
do-
possibly do, even
There's
if you
nothing
did
you could do.
everything right.
Yeah.
They're still
gonna be
going to be
They're
miserable.
still gonna
I know
they're
plenty
still
of
gonna
people
have
like
a bad day, right?
Yeah.
And with the bad day could come bad reviews based off them having a bad day. So I don't know how to articulate the right question to see what I'm asking is, but how does their bad day come across to the restaurant? How does it reflect on the restaurant, whether it's in that exact time or leaving the review? And is it fair that if they come in having a bad day, that you have to go
above and beyond
to make, which we should try to meet and exceed expectations. But when somebody comes in with they don't have expectations at the time because nothing you're going to do is going to make them happier. And then they'll leave a review about it.
I
or
feel
they're
like
bad mouth it.
there's people that automatically do that. You know what I'm saying? Like they just go into a restaurant, they're just gonna complain about every little thing you do just to get a free meal.
Well, yeah, you have those people. And I definitely would put them as a subsection of.
So I think what you're talking about is just like, because there's people that are just like that on a daily basis.
That's what
right?
I mean. That's a section
As
of people
opposed
or
to like,
subsection of people.
yeah, someone who you could like look, let's say if they were like Yelp reviewers, and you know how you can see if they've commented on anybody else. It's like they're all good reviews, and then they like set out a bad one because again, they were just having an off day.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. I feel like there's been days at Petunia that we've done really well, and our kitchen has been on fire recently. And
What, did you put it out?
Shut up.
We're not allowed to have open flames in our kitchen.
Okay.
We signed
We
an
are a
affidavit.
sous vide kitchen with an electric induction burner.
But yeah, we've been having obviously great, I feel like our customers who have been coming in recently, just it's been such good chemistry and good nights and everything. And out of the blue, we get a 1-star review on something that I feel like maybe kind of like, even if we did cater to them a little bit more, I still see them giving us that review.
Well,
like there was nothing we could have done about
so
it.
what she's referring to is we had a customer come in. They sat down, they ate. I just so happened to be cooking that night in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And they sent back a request of, this is one thing that they commented on. They're like, could we have our pasta al dente for this specific dish? I'm like, absolutely. So I made the food for the whole table, but I was working with my sidekick in the kitchen, the other cook, and he'd never made al dente pasta before because nobody's ever asked for it there.
Yeah.
And I showed him how to do it al dente. I took a piece out, I cut it, I said, try it. I tried it, perfect. Took it out, strained it, made the pasta, sent it out. And that's one of the things they commented on. They said
It was
the pasta
absolute
was
mush.
mushy. And, if I didn't specifically cook that, I wouldn't know 110%. I'd be like, okay, maybe you overcooked the pasta. Look, it happens.
Things happen.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that hit. But I cooked it.
That's
so
a perfect
I
example
know
of a
that was
customer off.
false. And that's what brought me to have this conversation today was,
How do you deal with a bad
how do you
day from a
deal with
customer?
this? And can you even fix that? Like, are they just going to knock you down on reviews just because
Yeah, because
they're
we were at a
having that day?
4.9 and then that brought us down to a 4.8. However,
disappointing.
one thing that I feel like you're like, how can we fix it or what can we do? I feel like, it hurt because we finally got to a 4.9 and I was so excited about it. And it was like a not a big deal, but like a big deal. It was fun. We were happy.
Yeah.
It was just
it's like a
5
game.
stars.
You just want to
Oh,
hit
yeah.
the 5.
Yeah,
Whoever wants the
exactly.
best one, you love
Yeah.
that, guys. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think for me, it was just so gratifying because if you looked at the 10 reviews before that, all 5 stars. And
Yeah.
then the 5 to 10 reviews, reviews after
it,
that,
yeah.
immediately after, like within the last week, we've
back
gotten
up, yep.
6 to 10 reviews and they're all 5 stars. So I'm like, you know what? I don't even care. I don't
That's
care
the
because
thing.
there's
And I think
nothing we
shouldn't
could
care.
have done.
And I
Shouldn't
think
care
that
at all
there's
of these one bad review. You know what I'm saying?
and speaking of that too, when bad reviews, I think at our prior meeting that we had as a restaurant group, we know of another local restaurant that somebody left a bad review for them on social media of all things, and the owner came back and replied to it.
Yeah, and
Do
that's,
you want to like?
No.
Aren't there some reviews you just like? I want to talk to the people that left this 1 star for us.
yeah, but just don't do it.
I'm never gonna post it online for everybody. Like I'd like to have a one-on-one conversation with them and
all
talk
you
to
want to
them.
know is why,
But these people posted online
and they got destroyed.
and they got destroyed with about 150 other people commenting.
I heard it was like 300.
It probably
comments
is
or
by now.
something.
Yeah,
It's
too
been
much.
crazy.
As owners, we just have to. I mean, bite our tongue and just kind of deal with it because
Yeah.
I will take 10 5-star reviews and then 1 bad review any day of the week. You know what I'm saying? So you can't let it. I mean, I know it doesn't bother. I mean, it does bother you because you have your stuff held to a high standard.
Yeah.
I also think, like he said in this instance, he cooked it.
That's what I'm saying.
He
When
taught the
he cooked-
kitchen how to
that's-
cook
which blows
al
our
dente.
mind.
So it's like there's
Like,
and
it was
this
just
is,
that specific
this is the
one
example
dish.
is there's nothing you could have done for that customer that day.
Yeah.
Even though you made it exactly how he wanted it, he still found a problem. And not only did he find a problem, he didn't bite his tongue. He went out of his way to say, and he finished ... This place is awful.
Yeah.
Now, was it a 2-top? Was it a 4-top?
It was a.
You know what I'm saying?
It was not a 4-top. It was either a 5 or a 6-top because I remember them where they sat. So it was a big table.
It was a big table.
It was a big table.
I see a lot of like bad reviews, like a 2-top, something like that. But I always say if the couple's fighting when they come in, it's over. You're done.
Oh,
No,
God,
this was
yeah.
this was a group, and I know Noelle was not. I think it was one of our other servers. It was another server there that night.
But Pete, you were still cooking the pot.
I still cooked it.
That's what I'm saying. That's
But you
And
know
that
what's
was the number one thing on the review was like, the food was awful.
Yeah.
This is awful. I'm never coming back. And you know what bothers me is when it is a big top. And this has happened before when we
It's
first
only the
opened.
one person
it's the
that
person
made the
who
rate.
made the effing reservation
Yep.
who somehow has the issue. And
It's okay.
everybody
It's okay.
else
Three-
is like,
Has
this is
no say in
amazing.
that.
This is great. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Blah, blah. And then that one person's like, yeah, thank you so much. They'll tip you 20%. They walk out and then bash you. It's
Yeah.
like, I would rather you crucify me on the spot. Tell me that.
you
Let me
right then
fix
there.
it.
Yeah.
Well,
Let
you know
me
what?
fix it.
There was this. I'm 90% sure this was on Chef's Table for one of the restaurants in season 1 or 2, and they were talking about a restaurant in Italy. And please comment if I'm wrong on this, but I'm 90% sure I am.
Or just
correct,
comment anyway.
That they said this restaurant that the guy ended up finding ended up being rated at one of the top 10 restaurants in the world at one point on the San Pellegrino best restaurants list.
Okay.
But on TripAdvisor, it was rated number 17 in the local area. It's crazy, like
That's-
to
we'll
think
see.
of it like
Yeah.
that, because people coming in to rate your restaurants and just regular diners coming in, some of them are just going to base it off. You know what? My favorite spaghetti and meatballs was my Nona's, and this is nothing like it. This sucks. Like, I don't know what this is, and they base it off of. You
Yeah.
know, so I think some people make judgment calls based off of nostalgia or foods that they grew up on and not taking it for, you know what, this is their interpretation of it, of spaghetti. I'm just using spaghetti and meatballs as an example.
If you had an opportunity, would you call them and bring it back and then cook the pasta again?
No, I wouldn't call them and bring
No,
them back.
because then,
but
like,
I
why
would.
target yourself for more? Like, again, it was already correct the first time.
Mhm.
Even if he sends it out correct the
Yeah.
way he wants it the
It
second
was
time,
absolutely
he's still
the
gonna
way.
he's still gonna find a problem. So I remember when we again first started opening up, and I posted something, and someone was crucifying us online before they had ever even come in to try us. And I remember I went to go reply, and Peter was like, absolutely not, delete that. And within 30 seconds of me hitting send, he was like, delete it right now.
Whoa.
And I came back with like, you know, it's not a problem. Like, I just responded, not in any kind of confrontational way. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's how you feel. That's totally fine. And Peter's like, stop, do not engage. Because once you start, you don't stop. And not to mention, you're opening an opportunity for everybody to want a response from you. And I'm like, you know what? You're completely right. And in that moment, he looked at me and he said, would you ever want them to come visit?
No.
Would you ever want them to
No.
come sit in our restaurant? And I was like, no. And he goes, then why engage?
Why care?
And so like with this guy, thank you for your business. Thank you for your money. We do greatly appreciate it. I'm sorry you had a crap time, no matter how much, we tried to follow suit of your orders. But I don't care if he ever comes back again.
Now, do you know if that was anything else wrong with that table that you're
No, I was back there. When I'm in the kitchen and it's a small,
I understand it's different.
Well, the thing is, it's not like it's a 100-seat restaurant. I'm trying to keep up with all the tickets.
No,
like when the tickets come in, Max will have maybe
4 or 5
tickets at a time, and not all entrees. Some apps here, some desserts here, some entrees there. So over at Petunia, you can pretty much kind of concentrate on what's going out, especially in the winter without our outdoor seating. So when that ticket came in, I specifically went in that night because we only had one cook that night because we only have 20 seats to help him execute. It was an ATOP because I'm going in to help specifically to do that table's food. That night, I specifically went in to cook for that ATOP to help, and they asked for, I think that was the only alteration or special request they had on that ticket.
So it's easy to target.
So it's very easy to target. And I made all their food. So I was absolutely sure that everything that went out was the way that I wanted. And I understand that maybe he's at home and he makes box pasta all the time. And obviously, al dente box pasta, okay, it's not fresh pasta. It's not going to come out the same al dente, fresh and boxed.
Do you think that people know about that though? Like, do you think
that
they know
there's a
from
difference?
Fresh pasta than box pasta?
And maybe they don't. Like I've had multiple people come into Petunia and they're like, we have never had homemade pasta.
And hold on.
Which is funny because I very rarely had boxed pasta
It just hit me in my head. When we first opened Petunia, remember we were getting a couple complaints that the pasta's too al dente.
The bucatini though.
Yeah.
The bucatini.
I
want to book your teenies.
We went and cooked it longer, and that became a norm, and everybody seemed to enjoy the way that we were making it. And I do it al dente because that's how I was taught when I was in Philly how to do it. So,
I mean, that probably has something to do with it. I mean, he could also be a miserable. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. He could be.
Like these guys,
but that's the whole point. Customers have bad
you never
days.
asked the question.
What do we do?
How do you
handle
think
it?
it's fair they take it out on the restaurant? Obviously, I don't think any of us can agree that it's fair that they take it out on the restaurant. But is it a double-edged sword?
I don't think they know. I don't think they know how to respond because we're in a type of an era now, an age there of where it's all on social, an era of age or whatever. Where it's all about social media.
I still don't know what you're saying.
An era of an age.
An era of an age.
Where it's all about social media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to make fun of you in front of your face.
Yeah.
I'm going to go behind my back with my fake name and say shit.
That's true.
Because you don't like loogies, deal with it.
Okay. Trying to spark a little conversation over
but
here.
No,
let me bite my cheek.
I can agree to an extent, and I feel like with a lot of people, they want to everybody just wants to be heard and acknowledged, and their opinion means the most. And that is just the era that we are in. Like, everybody's too important for their own shit. And I feel like that alone, like that comment, he was like, I just wanted the gods to come down and prepare my box pasta for me. So it's one of those things where like you can't help it. You can't.
Yeah, because I don't think if you went out there,
I don't think nothing would help.
You're the nicest person out there. Like,
you know what?
I'd like to think
I
so.
am damn sure if Peter went out and was just like, how are you enjoying your al dente pasta? I literally cooked that perfectly for you. He would have acknowledged it and had nothing to say about it if he was talked to.
Yeah, he would have.
Or he would have still went online and made the same exact review that he left.
He still would have said, even if you went out there, he still would say.
You know what? Because Jenny recently got a review. And they emailed me and they were like, our 4 meals, blah, 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 were whatever. They were inedible. We sent them back. And Jenny was like, and they emailed me like, you just need to know so you don't lose another customer. I sent it to Jenny. She goes, I was there.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I comped every single one of their meals. I got them all new stuff. They were happy when they left, like completely rectified the issue. And they still, at least, they had the common decency to email me. And it wasn't blasted online, but it was still one of those things where even if you give them all free food, done.
Yeah.
They want free food and a gift card.
Be kind.
Let's
2024.
Be kind or rewind.
That was Blockbuster's thing, right?
That was
Be
it?
kind, rewind on their cassettes. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was
Fact
nice.
check.
People are saying right now, what's Blockbuster?
Getting old.
Yeah.
So let's leave it
Comment
at
if
that.
you remember Blockbuster. RIP to a real one. I'm Noelle.
What the?
George.
George.
The Pete. It was a pleasure, guys.
Restaurant Book.
Out.
Yes, that's how we get warmed up. Oh, yeah. Thank you, George.
You know,
Chunky.
that's the most, to me, that's the most disgusting thing on earth. I can't handle it. When people used to do that, thanks, George.
You're welcome.
When people used to do that on like the bus in the gym, I have gagged and thrown up in front
Peter,
of people.
we've been in a relationship for well over 2 years, and there have been many times where I've
I have
popped a loogie.
held it in so hard.
Well, I've also like there.
But he just said the bus and then the gym.
This is
But you
that's what I'm
haven't-
saying. Going back to high school.
Oh, okay.
Terry and Steve did that in the car once, and I threw up in the car.
Peter, I have popped loogies out of the car door before.
Baby, I've held it in.
Oh, he's vomiting in his mouth and swallowing it. Wow.
How does it make you
Guys,
feel?
I am just as shocked as everybody right now.
What you got? What do you want?